This looks like a typical week for my rat supplies.
So, especially when you're first starting out, not everybody's gonna buy your snakes instantly. You gotta build a base. You gotta build some kind of credibility. People like Justin Kaboka, people buy snakes just because they know who he is, and he has amazing snakes, by the way. Hey, Reptile fam, thank you for joining. You guys are awesome. Together, we're gonna make this community amazing. And today, I'm gonna talk to you about 3 things, big mistakes that I made when I first started breeding ball pythons that I'm gonna help you avoid. Let's get this started. Hey everybody, this is Chris at Zenarch Reptiles. Thank you for joining me again today. I am a ball python breeder. I own a business. I sell ball pythons. I also make videos every Wednesday and Saturday. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and also hit that notification bell. And what that notification bell does for you is it lets you know when my videos come out. You'll be the first to know. As you can see, I'm out in the park again. I have an office job Monday through Friday. I work at a service center, an RV service center. So I have lots of paperwork to deal with. So it's nice to get out and get some sunshine. So anything you want to see in the future, just comment below. Let's get started. You got all your snakes ready. You're ready to breed. So you need to start thinking about where you're going to keep these animals. When I first started, I didn't think that far ahead because I was so excited about breeding. I started putting any snake that was ready to go with milk. And then like, oh crap, I gotta find a place to put all these snakes. So if you're just starting out, I'm assuming you're just starting out, you have smaller ball pythons that just started out, you got probably about 2 to 3 years old, and they're at that right size. You might have bought up some bigger ones, but most people that start out have like, 1,500 gram girls. They're gonna have about 5 to 6 eggs. I have some bigger girls that have up to 12 to 13 eggs, but they're pretty big. But I've been breeding for a little while, so. And I also bought some bigger ones that people moved on from that project. But when I first started out, I didn't think about these things, I was just so excited about breeding. I didn't have a place to put all these. And you don't have to go ARS. Actually, I don't do ARS for my hatchlings because they're not permanent homes. I'm planning on getting rid of most of them. I do keep some holdbacks. But if you think about this though, like if you plan on getting like something like animal plastics, they usually have about a 3 to 4 month wait. And also the vision tubs, the hatchling tubs, I've had them take 3 months to get them to me, especially during breeding season. So you gotta think about these things before you start breeding. Next thing you know, you'll have all these animals and not have nowhere to put them. I think that's a big mistake a lot of breeders do. Even me when I first started out, is I just wanted to breed and I didn't think about the consequences or how I'm going to take care of these. Another thing that people forget when they start breeding ball pythons is feeding them. They don't realize how expensive it is, how hard it is, and sometimes how difficult it is. Sometimes you have hatchlings that don't want to eat nothing but hopper mice or little mice. I've had that quite a few times. I've tried rats and they'd only want mice because rats at that size don't move as much where the mice do. I've noticed that. But also breeding rats. I do breed rats. I'm not a big fan of it. I do it because of the necessity. I don't enjoy it. I actually like rats, but they're gross, they're dirty, they take a lot of work. I mean, I spend a lot of my time more on rats than I do my reptiles. And that's kind of frustrating to me, even though I have I have to do it, and I love my business, and I love taking care of my animals. And I love the fact that I know that my animals are healthy, that I'm feeding them, my rats are. It's a lot of work, and it's not cheap. So a lot of people they get excited about breeding these ball pythons, but they don't think ahead, like, well, I'm gonna have to feed all these. And that's the cool thing, I want you to be excited about becoming a breeder. I was, and I still am. Every time I get a new clutch, it's like opening a Christmas present. I get excited and I'm gonna see what's in there, and you should too. But also think about how you're gonna feed these. You can buy frozen mice and rats online for a pretty reasonable price. But a lot of your ball pythons, especially little ones, like them to move around. They have to have live. And that's one of the things about ball pythons that make them kind of hard sometimes, is that they like live food, especially the hatchlings. So again, if you have about 20 to 50 hatchlings, you gotta think about the cost of, or even a place you can buy like baby mice to feed these. You might get some of them to take frozen, but there's gonna be some stubborn ones that are gonna want that wiggly mouse that's live. And it's unfortunate, but that's just a part of being a ball python breeder.
Take me back to the nights we felt alive, picking up the pieces on a summer night. I didn't know that I would feel just like my heart's on fire whenever I'm with you. Cause we go back in time, the thrills I miss and all the things I wish we did.
This is a typical week for my rat supply needs. And of course I gotta get my Titties root beer. This root beer can only get here.
All right, we're at number 3. Housing baby ball pythons for long term and figuring out how to sell them. I'm kind of lucky because I have a decent community here that kind of built that most of my snakes are actually spoken for, but I still have to sell some. And you think about going to shows, like reptile shows, morph market, and also having the ability to hold these things for long term. So especially when you're first starting out, not everybody's going to buy your snakes instantly. You got to build a base. You got to build some kind of credibility. People like Justin Kaboka, people buy snakes just because they know who he is, and he has amazing snakes, by the way. And Brian Barczyk, everybody knows who he is. Like us who are smaller breeders, it's harder to get known. So you have to spend the time and try to build a community. That's why I have this YouTube channel. That's why I spend a lot of times at reptile shows. Also spend a lot of time at pet shops and different communities here in town, because I want to build a community. So when I have snakes to sell, that people are willing to buy them. So you got all excited, you bred some snakes, and that's awesome, that's cool for you. But now you got to think about selling them. And if you don't sell them, you got to think about keeping them long term. That means more mice or more rats, more electricity. That means cages are tied up. You have all these cages that you had to buy for your babies, which we talked about before. Now they're tied up. So plan ahead for keeping them long term, especially when you first start out. But the thing is, I do work in my community and my local area. Most people here know me. I tell them I breed rats. I'm a ball python breeder. I try to let people know who I am and try to get myself out there. Thank you for joining in. You guys are awesome. Thank you, Reptile Fam. Together we're going to make this community awesome together. So don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. Keep you in the loop when my new videos come out. Also, please check out some of these other videos that I've done in the past few weeks. Don't forget to comment below. I will see you next time.